You finally get a decent paycheck. Maybe your salary went up. Maybe your side hustle had a good month. Maybe you just paid off one annoying loan. So what do? You reward yourself. You upgrade your phone. You eat out more. You add a few subscriptions. Maybe you finance a nicer car because, look, you're doing better now. And it feels earned. But here's the uncomfortable part. For most people, this exact moment is the reason they never build real wealth. And if that reaction feels personal, yeah, good, it's supposed to. My name is Zach, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, wealth building, and the psychology behind why smart people still make terrible financial decisions. If you're someone who earns decent money but still feels like you're not getting ahead, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we're talking about something most financial advice completely misses. Not what rich people buy, but what they stop buying, specifically after their first $100,000. And no, this isn't about being cheap, it's about thinking differently. Setting the stage, why $100,000 matters. Before we get into the list, we need to talk about why $100,000 is such a big deal. Charlie Munger famously said the first $100,000 is and yeah, he was right. Here's why. According to Fidelity and Vanguard data, once you hit your first $100,000 invested, compound growth starts doing more work than your effort. At a 7% annual return, $100,000 grows by $7,000 per year without you doing anything. $200,000 grows by $14,000. $500,000 grows by $35,000. This is where the math starts to shift. But here's what most people don't realize. The hardest part isn't earning the money. It's not spending it the way you think successful people do. That's where this list comes in.
Thing number 1. They stop buying status for strangers. Let's just say it. Most people spend money to impress people they don't even like. Here's the thing. Luxury cars, designer clothes, flashy gadgets, premium everything. None of those are bad. But rich people, real rich people, stop buying them for validation. Now, you might be thinking, but Zach, don't rich people drive nice cars? Yes, some do. But here's the data that messes with your head. A study published in Psychological Science found that higher income individuals are significantly less likely to buy luxury goods for status signaling than middle income earners. Why? Because once you have money, you don't need it to prove anything. Let's talk math. If you finance a $50,000 car instead of buying a $25,000 one, extra payment approximately $450 a month. Over 5 years, approximately $27,000. Invested at 7% over 30 years, over $200,000. That's not a car. That's a future decision you gave up. This is where it gets really interesting. Rich people understand that status is the most expensive thing you can rent, and it depreciates immediately. Thing number 2. They stop buying convenience at the cost of control. Look, convenience is addictive. Food delivery, same-day shipping, outsourcing every small inconvenience. And again, none of these are evil, but wealthy people get very intentional here, because convenience often trades money for invisibility. Here's what most people don't realize. A $15 delivery fee doesn't feel expensive, but $15 5 times a week is $75. That's $300 a month. That's $3,600 a year. Invested over 25 years at 7%, that's about $230,000. Now, imagine that pattern across food, errands, subscriptions, upgrades, express everything. This isn't about never using convenience. It's about understanding the psychology of friction. When spending is frictionless, it becomes unconscious. Rich people reintroduce friction on purpose. They ask, is this buying time or just laziness? And that question alone saves them tens of thousands.
Thing number 3. They stop buying more house than their life needs. This one is going to annoy some people, but let's talk about houses. Most people treat their home as a reward. Rich people treat it as a tool. According to Federal Reserve data, the median American household increases housing costs every time income increases. But wealthy households, they don't scale housing at the same rate. Why? Because housing locks up capital. Let's do simple math. A $600,000 house versus a $400,000 house. Extra $200,000. At 6.5% interest over 30 years equals over $450,000 total cost. That's $500,000 for extra space you don't live in. Now, you might be thinking, but real estate is an investment. Sometimes. But your primary residence is usually a liability with emotional benefits, not a growth engine. Rich people buy homes that support their lifestyle, minimize stress, maximize flexibility. They don't buy houses to feel successful. They buy freedom.
Thing number 4. They stop buying daily dopamine. This one is subtle but powerful. Coffee upgrades, impulse Amazon orders, random little treats. Individually, harmless. Psychologically, dangerous. Here's why. Dopamine spending trains your brain to associate money with relief instead of progress. A study from Harvard Business School found that people who associate spending with emotional regulation save significantly less, even at higher incomes. Rich people flip the script. They delay gratification not because they're disciplined, but because they've rewired the reward. Instead of, I deserve this because today was hard, they think, I deserve freedom because I'm consistent. They still enjoy life, but the pleasure comes from control, not consumption. Thing number 5. They stop buying into lifestyle escalation. This is the big one. Lifestyle creep. Every raise gets absorbed. Every bonus disappears. Every upgrade becomes normal. Here's what most people don't realize. Lifestyle escalation is permanent. Your brain adapts. The excitement fades. The expenses stay. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, households earning over $150,000 still report living paycheck to paycheck at alarming rates. That's not an income problem. That's a behavioral problem. Rich people cap their lifestyle early. They let income grow, but keep expenses relatively flat. That gap? That's where wealth is born. The psychology behind all of this. At $100,000, something clicks. You realize money isn't about stuff, it's about options. Options to leave, options to wait, options to say no. And every unnecessary purchase steals optionality. This is where it gets really interesting. Once people experience financial momentum, they stop asking, can I afford this? And start asking, what does this cost my future? That question changes everything. Actionable steps you can use today. Let's make this practical. Here's what I want you to do this week. 1. Audit your last 30 days of spending. Look for status purchases, convenience leaks, dopamine spending. 2. Pick one category to pause for 30 days. Not forever, just long enough to feel the difference. 3. Redirect that money automatically. Investment account, debt payoff, emergency fund. Automation beats motivation every time. 4. Redefine your reward system. Celebrate net worth milestones, not purchases. Look, rich people don't stop buying things because they're boring. They stop buying things because they've learned the truth. Money doesn't buy happiness. Money buys control. And once you feel that control, even a little, you'll never want to give it up. If this video helped you rethink how you spend, hit the like button. It tells the algorithm this content actually matters. Subscribe if you want more honest conversations about money, psychology, and building wealth without pretending it's easy. And remember, the goal isn't to look rich, it's to stay free. I'll see you in the next one.